43 tackles, 2 clean breaks. Mahe for Newer, 2 try assists, obviously helping out his wingman there, Michael. 7 tackle busts for the big Storm product. 130 metres, 4 successful offloads. For the Rovers, Ian Thornley, his try was dazzling.
Yeah.
He really showed. Was it by that time that Sneyd was at fullback? And
really showed his raw pace.
One try, 139 metres. It was a good, impressive bit of running off and dummying, but by that time I'm not sure how much Hull FC were applying themselves to the action. Adam Walker, he grabbed a try from close range. 140 metres, 5 successful offloads. His try actually showed a glimmer of hope for the other Super 8 teams as to how to get at Hull FC. Sean Lunt with his try assist on that try and 42 tackles for him, so doing a bit of a Danny mate. And George Lawler, he came off the bench, 142 metres for the young lad there.
Okay, we've got some feedback on this one. Owen Hughes got in touch. He said, kind of went the way I expected, to be honest. FC were good, but KR didn't really give them a proper fight either. Errors robbed us of a proper close derby, but enjoyed it nonetheless. Tyler Casfan said, apart from a couple of early bomb chances, KR were pretty much dominated by a much better FC side that fully deserved the win. Helen Hughes got in touch with us. That's a husband and wife double for the feedback, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not the most classic of derby matches, but great to back to winning ways. And to do so comprehensively against Rovers feels very nice. Solid defence from Hull in the most part and some positive attacking play, but Rovers being so poor did help us too. Hope Shaw and Ellis were just being rested after getting minor knocks rather than anything more serious. Just need to keep up this form and cut out the penalties for that semi-final. And if we win that one, decide how reckless it is to go for Wembley being 8.5 months pregnant. Nobody wants a southern baby after all. Well, Helen, yeah, winter is coming.
Did we know the Hugheses were pregnant? Congratulations to the Hugheses.
Yeah, fantastic
That
news.
must be why Owen's trying to get as many games in as he can this year, because
he knows what's coming.
Yeah,
winter.
Oh,
that's amazing news. Yeah. Yes, congratulations to both of you, and good luck over the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Oh no, it'll be 8.5 months, I presume, by the time the final comes.
Yes. Well, in a month's time, it'll be 8.5 months.
Enjoy the peace. Okay, Rich Langley, he got in touch. FC are back on track after dismantling KR in the heat of the biggest rugby league derby. Sneyd continues to push for England recognition, and the rest of the team stood up and dominated the opposition. We could see some players rested for the Salford game, with a massive game the week after against the disciplinary panels team. You controversial sort. Paul Ludo Lewis got in touch and said the best part of the game was watching Mark Sneyd on TV afterwards. Paul had looked like he was going to puke. Yeah, he was very, very nervous, Mark Sneyd. Absolutely, and he spoke well about the game when he got there. Just obviously nervous in being in front of the camera. I thought John Wells was a bit of a prick to him, actually. Not like horrible, but I think John Wells could have pitched his questions with a working vocabulary that might have been more easy for Mark Sneyd to get his head round.
But he also had to translate what Mark Sneyd was saying, because Mark Sneyd was using basically the team's words for stuff.
Team's calls and absolutely. Scoots, final word goes to Scoots on this one. Great to get back to winning ways, she says. Even better to consign Rover to the middle eights. Shows we need Ellis fit and on the pitch.
God, we've almost forgot that this game meant the slim hope of Hull KR making the top 8 were completely smashed.
That's it, all done and dusted.
It just felt like that. It was like that all the way. Yeah,
I never really.
There was no real excitement over that being a possibility.
Never really worried about that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, to Friday night then. Widnes taking on Salford down at the Select Security Stadium. It was 32 points to 24 in favour of the already middle eight condemned Salford Red Devils. Bit of a
called it.
Yeah, bit of a dead rubber really. This one you did call it. It's a good result in terms of middle eight prep from Salford's point of view. A bit damaging from Widnes's, I would say. 12-all at half time. Highlight for me was Mason Caton Brown's hat trick. He's always been a favourite of ours. He follows the show. I picked him out as my one to watch a couple of years ago, and he's gone from strength to strength. So it's nice to see him, especially coming back from a difficult injury earlier in the season.
Yeah, definitely. They were sort of different tries as well. They showed off his full range. He showed a bit of toe, didn't he? He showed a bit of strength as well. His last try, he went through a forward and a back. So he went through some bigger lads as well to get the ball down on that one. His second try showed a bit of everything.
Yeah.
There was was it one of his tries that, I mean, we don't want to give the bloke too much credit but we acknowledge that Robert Louis, whilst off the field,
being a reprehensible human being, he can't play rugby.
Not deserving respect on the field, given that he's still allowed to play, does play pretty well, and that offload he put out for Sal to set Mason Cain-Brown for, I think it was for Mason Cain-Brown's second try.
Yes.
That was outstanding.
That was good rugby league.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, can't take anything away from him from that point of view. I saw a bit on social media giving Gareth Hewer pelters, just a couple of people. Again, just back off.
Probably Widnes fans, because they lost. That's what you get.
That's what you get, innit? Okay, stats then, Mark. Give us those good stats.
Yeah, Salford won the metres per carry by 1.1 metres per carry, and the team tackle success by 2% overall. So they're big numbers that they won quite convincingly. For only the second time all year, Widnes lost the clean break count at home, Salford taking this extra chance for a one-try victory. 2 fewer errors by the Red Devils as they managed to overcome a 9-5 penalty count against them to record a win that would have seen them ahead of the Vikings in the table had past cap failings not been uncovered.
Okay, individually then, who stood out for us?
Well, we talked about MCB. 3 tries, all of them great. 6 tackle busts, 208 metres, 2 clean breaks. On the other wing, Justin Carney, 1 try, 115 metres. Inside of him, Josh Griffin had a try assist, 153 metres, so his move to Hull FC isn't stopping his commitment to the Salford cause as we expected. Junior Sow in the other centre, 2 try assists, 100 metres, so all in the backs there for Salford, but some big numbers. For Widnes, 2 tries from Matt Whitley through non-existent defending almost, but good lines run by the young second rower. We do like Matt Whitley. 2 tries, 5 tackle busts, 112 metres, 2 clean breaks. Cahill 120 metres, Lloyd White a try assist 102 metres, his good season continues. Reece Hanbury at the back 118 metres. They scratched together the stats guys for Widnes.
Okay, Paul O'Brien got in touch. He said, poor again from the Vikings. Players didn't look interested. No ideas in attack and poor in defence. In this form, we won't win another game this year. Salford wanted it more. Kev the Chemic got in touch, said too many mistakes tonight, let Salford get the upper hand. Jay Green said glad Widnes are safe tonight. This could have been a terrible time if Salford had got their points back. Ian Woods is a new one on me.
Yeah, welcome aboard, Ian.
Blue Viking 1, welcome aboard, Ian. Thank you.
I assume he's an Everton fan as well, then.
You would assume so, wouldn't you? Widnes clueless at times. Time to cash in on Brown has been awful all season. Interesting. Paul Ludo Lewis said the Widnes team may as well have turned up in their flip-flops and straw hats with a donkey under their arms. They know they're safe and just want to go on holiday. Only Matt Whitley and Hanbury looked arsed. Just plug the youngsters for the Super 8s, please. Dennis, yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. They'll probably do a similar thing. You know, Hull FC were at that point last season where they were bloody youngsters in the middle eights. It wouldn't.
A lot of those Hull FC youngsters haven't really seen that much game time this year.
Well, they bloodied them, and then they went out and recruited heavily in the positions where these youngsters were coming into the fold, which sort of.
But what it means is they got more confidence in the depth of the squad, I suppose, and that's what Widnes, could look to do. They could look to get some games into the Chapel House, and that young Johnstone, is it the halfback come hooker? Right, he looks like he could be a talent to me.
I'd feel sad for the Chapel House, and I'd feel sad for Cumbrian Rugby League if the Chapel House had to come back from Whitehaven, where they've been playing much of the season on dual reg.
We'll see how that works out.
I would feel, but you need to blood your youngsters. I couldn't agree more. And I suspect that Widnes won't be recruiting as heavily as Hull FC did. So perhaps blooding their youngsters will lead to them getting more.
It might be contingent on some bits falling into place and who might be leaving the club more than for how much they can recruit for next year. They've already done a bit of in-season recruiting, haven't they, with Jack Buchanan and Greg Burke.
True. Right, so staying with Friday evening then, over at Headingley in front of 16,712 people. It was Leeds Rhinos versus the Wigan Warriors. It finished Leeds 18, Wigan 16. Wigan mounting a bit of a comeback, not quite able to pull it off. Leeds were 18-4 up at one point, and certainly at times looked back to their better selves, although admittedly this was against a Wigan side disseminated by injury, and actually Leeds, for the first time I would say this season, or one of the first times this season, the team that had the lesser injury problems. When you think there's guys like Ablett back, they had a good 3/4 line out there, they had a decent complement of forwards. Exactly, Seguiero playing, so they've got a hooker out there. They had a relatively full complement of forwards. Ryan Hall was back in the side.
Garber didn't play, that really hurt Watkins. My dream team.
Yeah, really did your dream team some damage. Standout player from a Wigan point of view was definitely George Williams from my point of view. And Seguiara looks every inch the NRL hooker, doesn't he? He's really injecting himself into that Leeds setup, which makes a change from what he's been injecting himself into elsewhere, I would say. But what did you make of it, Mark? I'm presuming you were there.
Yeah, I was there. Do you know what? I came away from it. We lost a game. I didn't feel too bad. I sort of thought we had more in us than we showed. Leeds were, I'd say, tactically better on the day. They were putting kicks up high that were tough for the wingers to get a head start. And the couple of times that Wigan did manage to get broken player at the end of sets, Tierney managed to have a couple of breaks. Charnley had a couple of breaks. Probably the refereeing decision that infuriated me the most was the Singleton on Charnley one, but now I've watched it back. Charnley, after being definitely slowed down and definitely should have been a penalty, Charnley then decided to take things into his own hands because the referee wasn't giving the 50-50s Wigan's way. That's not a criticism, that's just a way the game went. Then decided to step off the mark and give the penalty away, whereas if he'd just played it where he was, he probably would have got a penalty. For Singleton being hands in around him and stuff, slowing him down. But yeah, like I say, I do feel like Leeds got the 50-50s from the referee Hicks, but I don't think that was a bias thing or a...
No.
I just think that's how it went in this game. There was a few high shots that they could have been pinged for. There was a few times where I think they messed around a bit more on at the ruck than Wigan maybe got away with. But credit Leeds for executing those skills at the ruck better than Wigan did. There was the knock-on that wasn't a knock-on in the build-up to the Watkins try, but Wigan had, when they put a scrum down when it was a knee that knocked the ball out.
Yes.
But those things can go either way. Like I say, a 50-50 went Leeds' way. No aspersions cast on the referee for that. Wigan should have dealt with Callum Watkins better than they did. I thought it was a remarkable job for him once he got over the line to get the ball down.
His try was tremendous, wasn't it? His finish there.
Yeah. Just like the Ablett setup for Cuthbertson was terrific, but Wigan had a lot of opportunity to do something about that to stop them both happening.
Yeah.
Could have been a different kettle of fish if Wigan had just dealt with those properly, but like I said, Leeds tactically, they pinned Wigan back quite a lot. Their defensive line seemed to have a more fierce attitude. Physically, they seemed more up for the game than Wigan. Until about the hour mark, Wigan turned it around. George Williams, like you say, was massive in that. I think Josh Charnley was quite big in what went on as well. There was a 50-50 that went our way in the pass that went out to young Jack Higginson for his first try in Wigan colours. Matty Smith kicked a brilliant conversion. And it was exciting. I think Wigan could have won if there was 5 more minutes to the game.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I just think that's how it was going. Wigan was certainly finishing the stronger side, but Leeds had played better overall and just about deserved it. 2 points difference probably just about explains the difference in the game. I think Leeds were just a bit better. They had better tactics, better defensive unity and effort for the majority of the game. And Wigan were too lateral too often, especially early on in the game, and the forwards needed to run the ball a bit more to earn the right to get it out wide. And when Wigan have battered Leeds twice this season, it was from doing that, from doing just that, running the forwards back in and around the ruck and really taking it to Leeds down the middle. This game they didn't do that enough for my money. And that's what happened. So Leeds did well and knocked a second team off top spot 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a vintage Leeds performance by any stretch of imagination, but it was nice to see these two teams have a close game. And also I'd say that with the players at Leeds who've got coming back now, I highly anticipate that they're going to do absolute murder.
It was exciting and entertaining, wasn't it?
Murder in the middle eights. Yeah, it was exciting. It was a good game. I see them putting 60 points on at least 3 teams in the middle eights.
A couple more charges to discuss, obviously.
Yes.
Now, Tautai, I mentioned before, I think he should have been banned for this game for the week before that. I probably would have made a grade B charge, giving him a 1-game ban. He's now got a grade B charge for the tackle on Cuthbertson, which was completely unnecessary because the tackle was basically finished. Partly the referee should have been calling held earlier, but Tautai did not need to be going in like he did, and he went in a bit lower than he should have done. He basically made contact just above the knee, do we say, rather than...
Can't remember it back now. Yeah, I would.
But it was in that danger zone.
Either way, exactly. The pressure it's applying.
Ablett certainly wasn't happy about it.
No.
And took that out on Tautai's next carry, but Ablett hit him probably closer to the hip than the knee, and but with a lot of bloody force. definitely was gunning for him back there, which I don't want to see. But